What's the most important nerve in the entire body? This isn't a trick question, and it's not something that you're probably going to be asked at a friendly game of trivia, but most of us would agree that the vagus nerve is most important for a few reasons, and not just because it's the longest nerve in the body with branches from the brain into the digestive system, but the main reason is that it plays a crucial role in the function of the autonomic nervous system. It extends from the brainstem down to so many different organs, including the heart, the lungs, and the entire digestive tract. It's responsible for regulating essential body functions, things like heart rate, digestion, and breathing, but it also influences emotional and cognitive processes too. It was fairly recently that researchers have uncovered the many functions of the vagus nerve. They now know that it contributes to so many different layers of physiological and psychological well-being. The vagus nerve, it acts as a vital link between the brain and the body, and it's tied to so many different health challenges, especially when it comes to emotions, growth, and development for our children. Plus, as parents, we know that so many challenges that our children are working through, they're all tied together. There is rarely a consult that I do where the child isn't struggling with behavior and sleep, or anxiety and a digestive issue. This nerve is exactly what causes that perfect storm of struggles to just come and bind together. So today's video, it's for moms who know in their gut that health challenges are connected, and they're looking for a more natural approach without having to wait months to see multiple specialists, all just to be prescribed unwanted medications. The other care providers section of our intake paperwork, it has 10 lines for a reason. It is because so often the care these kids are receiving are from 10 different specialists, each attempting to treat the child for a different condition or struggle with little to no communication or care considerations between providers. So having specialists available is incredible, but imagine if they stepped back and looked through a broader lens for a minute. I think they would also see that this perfect storm of struggles that so many kids are facing all stem from the same place and are absolutely connected. So separating out care for each struggle, like anxiety, like stomach pains, like constipation and chronic ear infections or immune challenges, just doesn't make sense when it's all actually tied together by the nervous system, the vagus nerve in particular. So the vagus nerve, it's sometimes called the rest and digest nerve because when functioning properly, it's the main contributor to the parasympathetic side of your nervous system, which is the opposite of that sympathetic or fight or flight side. And 75% of the nerve tissue that's in your parasympathetic nervous system is the vagus nerve. That's how expansive it is. So nowadays we know that the vagus nerve, it goes well beyond rest and digest, and it's also responsible for major portions of our immune function, of social engagement, emotional and behavioral regulation, and so much more. So this means that unlocking and activating vagus nerve function could be the key to helping countless chronic health conditions improve without having to use dangerous, side effect riddled drugs and medications. Let's first talk through what the vagus nerve can help with, and then we'll explore how we can help it function better. So research is showing that the vagus nerve is crucial in helping regulate our mood, emotions, and behavior, but it's also key to regulating our immune system, especially in lowering inflammation because of its connection to our gut and digestive tract. Not only that, but it's a key connection to help our brain and our body systems to communicate and function with ease and efficiency. Simply put, the vagus nerve, it can positively or negatively affect almost every single element of your child's health because health starts with the basics, with eating, pooping, and sleeping. Then the motor system, immune system, speech, and emotional regulation begin to develop. All of that is built on top of the vagus nerve's ability to function and communicate clearly between the brain and the body. So usually the challenges with vagus nerve function, they stem from things like a previous infection, inflammation, and physical or psychological stress. As pediatric chiropractors, we see many vagus nerve struggles traced all the way back to birth trauma, such as prolonged labor or using instruments like forceps or a vacuum during delivery, which can potentially cause damage to that vagus nerve, especially because the vagus nerve is the most sensitive and is most sensitive and susceptible to trauma up in that neck area. Because it's hard for anyone to know exactly how past stressors or trauma impact the present well-being, the first step that we take is to measure, find out if the vagus nerve function has been affected, and then determine how much. The most important exam that we use is the HRV test, or heart rate variability. It's an easy 3-minute test that we run that tells us vagus activity and balance. Right here is an example of an HRV of a 4-month-old boy who had some vagus nerve challenges. His sleep, digestion, and gross motor control struggled significantly. He was having such severe multi-system health challenges, and this HRV makes perfect sense for what he's going through. So the small white dot right here is his plot, and you can see just how low his autonomic activity index is. It's at a 49.49, if you can read that in there. And that means that his autonomic nervous system was indeed exhausted and running on fumes. But you can also see here that he's way off to the left side of this center line. So what that means is he's sympathetic, he's fight or flight. This little guy's nervous system is running at high rev even when he was asleep during the test. So vagus nerve function is everything when it comes to pediatric and even adult health, from regulating digestion to shaping our emotional well-being. Its influence touches virtually every single aspect of our lives. This is why enhancing vagus nerve function is such a huge part of neurologically focused chiropractic care and what we do here at Foundations. So if you're intrigued by the vagus nerve's role in health, or you suspect that you or your child are struggling with vagus nerve function, reach out to us. We would love to discuss our clinical process and how our care plans work. We're here to help.